So I've worked on both sides of what you're looking at. I've been the editor who grew and did trials and started working with these large creators making thousands, and I've also been the person hiring editors. Not only for myself or for this own channel, but even outsourcing and hiring for my other clients. So I've been on both sides of this equation. So I hope I'm someone that can give you a little more insight on how to go about trials and how to go about it in a way that actually serves you. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but trials are one of the best ways to go about your editing career. It can get you clients that you didn't even think were possible. But at the same time, trials, they can be the very thing that ruin your editing career. If you go about trials the wrong way, and I'm going to explain this throughout the video, you could genuinely get yourself like pretty much blacklisted from clients and make it so that even if you tried later in the future, you will ruin any chance that you ever have of making it as an editor. So just to explain what trials are, editing trials, it's pretty much these quick test edits. It's you doing a practice edit for a client so that they can see whether or not you are good enough for the job. And I've never heard anyone talk about this, but there's actually two types of trials that can come up. That's going to be a trial for ability and a trial for compatibility. When they're testing for ability, that's going to be when they're trying to see if you as an editor are genuinely like physically able to do the effects, the pacing, the actual editing that they want. This is the one that literally for like 90% of editors, that's the trials they're going to be getting. But more rarely, you're going to find these trials which are testing for compatibility. These are trials which clients send to editors that they have the skills already. They know that, okay, they can edit in this way, they can do the style, but they're just testing for the softer skills. It's things like communication. Are you good at deadlines? Are you able to have good humor throughout the edit? These compatibility trials are to see if you are able to work with this exact creator. And it's important that you find out which type of trial you're doing now, because this will genuinely change the way you charge, whether you charge or not, how much money you should be charging, and how you can change your portfolio and how to go about the client interaction. What you'll find is for most trials, it's going to be the first one. It's going to be where they are testing for ability. This is going to be a harsh truth and I'm going to get a bit of shit for this, but honestly, most editors are horrible. There's probably 20,000-30,000 editors that are like on Twitter and stuff. Most of them are absolutely like, they're just shit. And sometimes if there is an editor that's not the best and a client is trying to give them like the benefit of the doubt, or they're just trying to see if they can make it work, they will give them a ability trial. So they'll see if they have the skills necessary to actually execute on the videos. Usually these won't be paid because honestly, if it doesn't go well, the client doesn't get anything out of it. And in 99% of cases, when a client does give out these trials to test for ability, most of them don't have anything worth like paying for. So it makes sense, and it's like, that's not the client's fault, that's not the editor's fault. Just genuinely, a lot of the times these ability trials won't be paid for. But the second type of trial, the compatibility trials, the ones that are testing for the softer skills, usually it's going to be clients that are a lot larger. These large high paying clients, guys paying $400-500 a video, $1,000-1,500 per video, they're going to be a lot more picky with the editor that they choose. So compared to like some small like random Minecraft channel, what these high paying creators look for, not only do you need the skills, so you need the ability, that's a prerequisite to even get a trial. After that, they're testing for communication, the humor, all of these softer skills. And because they are being more picky, it is completely okay to charge for these trials. Like I've done trials in the past where I'll edit 1 or 2 minutes, like literally like a 1-minute edit, and I'll get paid like $200-300 for it. A lot of editors don't get paid even $100-200 for an entire like 10-15 minute video. I've been paid $200-300 for a single minute of footage. The reason being, these high paying clients, guys with 10-20 million subscribers, guys that you want to work with longer term in the next year or so, these guys are willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, not per month, per video. So it's completely normal for them to spend a couple of hundred on getting a trial to make sure that the editor matches exactly with what they want. So of course it is much better for us to do the compatibility trials, to work with larger creators, and the way you get these higher paying trials and these better opportunities, it's your portfolio. I say this all the time, your portfolio is basically like your resume for a normal job. It shows the qualifications that you have. So if you want to skip that first type of trial, if you never want to do these like crappy trials that you're unpaid and stuff, you're gonna need like a killer portfolio. That portfolio needs to show some advanced editing. It needs to show a top 1% editor's value of work. And I want you to genuinely like drop your ego right now. If you're watching a video like this, like I don't mean this to be rude, I say this out of love, you're probably not part of the group that has a portfolio good enough to continuously do these like compatibility trials. If you want to get paid, especially like a good amount for a trial, that means your editing portfolio needs to be showing that you are so good that you can basically execute whatever style this guy asks for. The actual editing, like the physical act of editing in Premiere, the actual effects that you use is not going to be the constraint. It's never going to be the thing holding you back. The only thing that's stopping you from working together is going to be things like deadlines, timings, things like that. And there might be one person thinking this right now, and honestly, I'm saying this because I used to be this type of guy, where you'd think that, oh, but I've got my portfolio, but I can actually edit better than the videos in my portfolio. Like, that's not my best work. The problem is, nobody cares. People will judge you off of what they can see. They can't read your mind. They can't go back in your memory and look at your amazing edits through your brain. They will judge you from exactly what they can see in your portfolio. So it doesn't matter if you've worked with like Mr. Beast, Assignment, Beta Squad. If your work on your portfolio is absolutely rubbish, it doesn't matter what you've done behind the scenes. So up to the point where you're genuinely in a position where people look at your portfolio and they've never seen anything of your own stuff before. They just look at your portfolio and they want to work with you. That's when you know you can start charging for trials. And you know this is you because genuinely you'll already be at like $400 or $500 per video. Like you'll consistently be getting $400 or $500 commissions. That's when you know like, okay, like I can start charging for trials now. Like I'm probably good enough to consistently charge for compatibility trials. But in the majority of cases, it is going to be a trial for your skill. And I hope that doesn't like trigger you. If this triggers you, genuinely you need to like check your ego, because I promise you, I don't mean this to be rude, but if you get annoyed at me saying that, yeah, like you're not the best right now, will help you improve, but right now you're not the best. Like if you get offended at that, you are someone that has a problem and you're probably not going to do well as an editor long term. It's okay not to be the best right now, but deluding yourself and like going against me, like I'm someone that's done what you're trying to do, I'm trying to help you, and you're going against me, like I'm trying to help you, bro, I'm on your side, and you go against that, it's like you've got an ego problem. So up till then, you probably aren't there yet where you can start charging a lot for trials. You probably are going to have to do them for free, which is okay, but I just want to kind of reframe your beliefs and your mindset around the trials that you do. Everything I'm going to explain from now on, this is where it's going to decide whether trials actually help your career or you burn it to the ground. This video might have been a little bit clickbait where I say like, oh, don't do editing trials or something, but I'm going to explain why. Like I promise, it's not completely clickbait. What I'm saying is that it is good for you to do editing trials, and the reason I'm saying that is you need to stop seeing you getting rejected as a bad thing. A lot of editors will do a trial, they're doing it, they're hoping that they get accepted, and when the client does reach back out to them, they say, hey, I don't think it was perfect, or they get ghosted. They see it as an absolute loss. But I want you to kind of reframe your paradigm, the way you see this, as even if you get rejected, you realize that it's still your win. Because now you have had a lot more practice with content that you otherwise wouldn't have had. By you doing that trial, you were forced to make a good video by your standards, and you actually tried, and that is how you grow long term. You learned how to have another client interaction. You got further than most people. Most people get ghosted. You at least got into the trials, and now you've learned how to start talking to more clients. Like, of course, the best case scenario is that you do the trial, you get accepted, and you make money from that. The worst case scenario is that you get better at editing and you can move on to your next client. Now you can use that trial project to put onto your portfolio, and then you can attract more clients through that. Either way, you're winning. We've been almost like conditioned to see you getting accepted for a job as good and you getting rejected as bad. But you realize that literally everything in your life on a long enough time horizon, if enough time passes, every single thing that happens to you is a good thing. I look back at times when I got dropped by clients, literally guys with millions of subscribers, and they dropped me as an editor. And at the time, of course, like it sucked. Like I wanted to die, I wanted to kill myself. But looking back at it, that taught me a lesson where it's like, okay, don't leave a video till the last day. Me feeling that pain, me feeling that discomfort when I get dropped because it was my fault at the end of the day, taught me a lesson that I needed. Imagine I'm working now with someone with 20, 30 million subscribers and I make the same mistake then. But this time it's the first time I make a deadline mistake and I have no idea how to handle it. I would rather lose the client with a couple million subscribers rather than make the mistake for the first time with someone that's paying me 5-6k a month, just one client. In another way, I got scammed for my first ever video. It was for $5. It was pay half first, pay half after. He paid me the $250. I spent a week doing this Fortnite video and he doesn't pay me the second half. And of course, at the time it sucked. But imagine that happened today. I'm charging $1,500 per video now. If I got scammed for half a video right now today, that would cost me over $700. So I'm glad, I genuinely sit here saying I am happy that I got scammed, because that was a lesson that I needed to learn, and I'm glad I learned it earlier rather than now. You taking on a trial and actually trying on it. Treat it as if it's already a paid video, because that is how you get the paying clients. You don't do a horrible trial and expect to get a crazy client. The reason that a client will give you a trial is because they are expecting to pay you. If you do a shitty trial and you're not working hard on it because I'm not getting paid for it, why would they want to pay you if they know you're a lazy bum? So it's like you're getting this unpaid trial, you're not making money, but you weren't making money anyways. So you might as well put your all into this trial and actually try, because no matter what, you're the one who wins. This is like the main bit I wanted to speak about. If you tell someone that you're going to do a trial, trust me when I say you need to do that trial. Don't apply to trials that you're not going to do. The reason being, this will genuinely lose you more clients, and if your career isn't going to take off, if this is a reason, you're going to beat yourself up, because this is irreversible damage that you're going to do to both your brand and your entire editing career. Just step into the creator's shoes for a while. Pretend you're a client, you're a YouTuber, a huge guy with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and now this editor has reached out to you and said, hey, I'd love to work with you, I'll do a trial. So you give him the footage and he promises you, cool bro, I'll get it done by the next week. So you're like, awesome, and you're ready. You literally have in your mind, yeah, I'm hoping this guy does it well. If he does, I'll pay him $500 a video. I think he's really good. So you're waiting, you're going about your day, and next week you open up your Twitter and he hasn't DM'd you yet. This editor that promised he would get a trial done hasn't sent you the trial. So you leave it, it's not a big deal to you, like you're not gonna follow up. Another week passes, and then a month passes, and 2 months pass. You never heard back from that editor. That editor never ended up doing the trial. I mean, no worries for you. You found another editor, it's cool. But the next year, so a year's passed, now you've grown your channel to 5 million subscribers. Your budget's increased. You're now willing to pay an editor $1,000 per video. It's simple videos, but you have the money to spend. Why not? So you make a post saying that, hey guys, I'm looking for an editor. DM me, we're gonna do a trial. A couple of minutes go by and you've already got like 15 editors in your DMs saying that they want to do a trial. And amongst all of them is that one editor that told you he'd do a trial ages ago. You're just about to send him the footage to do the trial, but you scroll up a bit and you see this editor promised me he'd do a trial last year. It's been 365 days and it's still not done. If I can't trust him to do a trial for a video that was for $100, how can I trust him to do one that's for 1,000? I've got 14 other editors in my DMs, I'm gonna go to them. And then that editor goes to sleep thinking like, oh, all these clients keep ignoring me. He's applying to more and more creators saying that he wants to do a trial, but nobody's responding to him. Like, he started off by saying that he'll do 1-minute trials, but he didn't get any for that. So he's literally saying he'll do a whole 10-minute video for free just as a trial, but nobody wants to talk to him. You might not realize this, but genuinely every single huge creator, they all know each other. I've literally been in calls where like, there was one guy I was talking to, one of my clients, he had like 5 million subscribers. We're just talking, and out of nowhere, in the Google Meets meeting, Mr. Beast's manager just joins. And it's like, we're talking about retention and like how what we're gonna do for this guy's videos, and we just bring up like random topics, and all these other YouTubers' names come into conversation. Like, these guys all know each other. I've had times where potential clients reach out to me and I'm talking and I'm showing them the work I've done, and they'll see that I've worked with Jesser. Jesser's another huge channel. He's got quite a few million subscribers. I don't remember how many, but it's like 10 or 15 million subscribers. This random potential client came to me, I showed him my work, and he says, oh, you've worked with Jesser, that's cool. I play pickleball with his manager. It's like, these people all know each other. So when you mess up with one of them, your name is going to be spread around. You're going to be getting negative word of mouth. And it'll be in these small conversations where this one person says, oh yeah, I'm trying out this editor, he seems quite good. And then someone else will say, oh really, like I tried a trial with him last year and he just ignored me. I don't know why. I would watch out, like he's a bit of a red flag. Do you really want to be that editor in that situation where people are talking behind your back and where you would have gotten a client? Nobody wants to work with you. That is what happens when you offer to do a trial, or honestly offer anything, and you don't get it done. Your reputation is the one thing that you have going for you. Don't fuck it up. And this might scare you. You might be thinking like, oh, I'm never going to take on a trial again because what if I mess up? But this word of mouth is literally the only source of traffic. So traffic means like people learning about you, people coming to your page. It's the only source that's genuinely exponential in nature. There's this book by Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, another amazing entrepreneur. He has this book called $100 Million Leads. This isn't like some weird sponsorship or something. I just love the book. And he talks about the different ways to get customers and stuff. There's paid ads, there's cold outreach, there's warm outreach, there's all these different methods. And every single one of them works in a linear way. If you put double the effort in for paid ads, you'll get double the results. If you do double the cold outreach, you get double the results. The only one which is exponential, which has like a potential to go viral, is word of mouth. One person that tells another, that person tells 2, both of those tell 4, both of those, and then by the end of it, you've got the entire community, the entire YouTube space knows about your name. Now it's completely up to you whether what they're saying about you is good or bad. Now I really hope that you're not an editor whose name comes up when I'm in a call with someone's manager and they say that they're struggling to find an editor and that there's someone fucking fucking either scammed them or they bailed out or they promised a trial and they didn't do it. I really hope that your name doesn't come up in our conversations. I hope that YouTubers are talking about you, and maybe you do a trial and you give it in and it doesn't get accepted. But when these huge YouTubers are having conversations, they're saying that, oh, I'm looking for an editor, and one of their friends says, oh yeah, I did a trial with this guy, I didn't hire him, but he's really good, do you wanna go hire him maybe? And then out of nowhere you get a cold DM saying, hey bro, I heard about your editing, I'd really want to work with you. That is positive word of mouth. So it's up to you whether you have positive or negative word of mouth, and this will genuinely change the entire trajectory of your editing career. So do trials. Trials are amazing, but the reason I have the title of like don't do trials is if you're not going to do them, don't even apply. I'm saying this from someone that's lost client relationships because I did the same thing, and I think I got lucky in the sense that I only did it with like 2 people, whereas most editors, a lot of people I see, they'll apply to 50 trials and they won't even do any of them, and then they wonder why nobody likes to talk to them. So I really hope you learned something in this video. Like, I say this to genuinely help you because I wish I had someone tell me that even those 2 clients I ignored, those few trials I didn't do, if someone could tell me the negative impact they would have, that could have meant that I got to where I am now, making like the thousands and working with the multi-million subscriber channels that I am now. I could have gotten there maybe 6 months, a year earlier. So I really hope you got something out of this, and just comment like what you think about this. I never asked for like YouTube, this isn't even for like algorithm and stuff, but genuinely I like hearing from you boys. Like, just comment what you think about trials and if you've done trials before. But yeah, other than that, you can subscribe. I'll have a video here where it's like something you can watch, YouTube recommends it, and yeah, other than that, take care.